Everybody talked about what a great guy Jim Caldwell was to work with. And when we got into the interview, I had the same feeling. I felt like this was a guy we could accomplish great things with. I want to introduce the next head coach of our Detroit Lions, Jim Caldwell.
There was a lot of talk at your first press conference about the fit that you were and are for the Lions. What makes you such a good fit for this franchise?
I'm from the heartland, and I think that there's a great connection to the city because I can sense it and feel it. Even before I came, I had one of those, how you can look at a place from afar, or even when we came to visit when we were playing these teams and got a sense of, this feels a lot like home.
Coach, you were a 4-year starter at Iowa from 1973 to 1976. What are your best memories about that experience?
Would probably be the guys I had an opportunity to associate with from the coaching staff. Just an incredible group of guys that had a great desire to excel, had a great love of life. I mean, we had fun at practice, but practice was tough.
How closely do you follow Iowa football now?
After I left, Hayden Fry came in, and then Kirk came in afterwards, and I can just tell you that there was an old saying, they're proud to be a Hawkeye. Those two guys certainly made me very, very proud to have been a part of the university. We get a guy from Iowa, we don't have to worry about a whole lot of things. So whether or not he's going to be able to handle himself in pressure situations, how tough he's going to be when it comes time to really dig down and get it, and whether or not he's going to follow your direction. I mean, all of those things are given.
You played at Iowa, you coached at Penn State and Northwestern, you grew up in the footprint. Your thoughts on Big Ten expansion?
I was at Penn State when Joe walked into the meeting and says, "Hey, what do you guys think about joining the Big Ten?" And this was probably, might have been 1992. So we had a big discussion about it, particularly the distance that had to be traveled for Penn State, just in terms of what we all felt about the conference and what it stood for. We all felt really good about that. The expansion, I think, has obviously gotten to the point now where I just think that every conference has to look and see what's best for it and its constituencies. So, sometimes I think you look at it, you say the more the merrier, but they add quality teams. They make it very, very competitive with Nebraska coming in and, et cetera. So it's a heck of a league that's getting tougher and tougher all the time.
What was the best thing about coaching Peyton Manning?
When you walked into the meetings with him, and typically you'd have a set of film to kind of present a game plan, just understand and know that he's watched every one of those films. And he has hypermnesia, which is the ability to, what he sees, he never forgets. And he knows how to apply it. So typically, as you're running through that film, he'll say, okay, hey, he'll ask you a question before the next clip comes up that has something to do with the next clip, just to see how you're going to respond to it. First of all, you better check your ego at the door. Secondly, you better be prepared.
You've been in 3 Super Bowls, you've won 2 of them. What have you learned about how to get a team ready for that game?
The ones that I've been in, man, they've been fun, but you don't want to come away from that game without a win. That thing haunts you. And it haunts you because of the fact that it's the last game of the season, and everything that you see on television in regard to football will remind you of that loss. The other team celebrating, talking about, hey, here's the memorabilia from last year with, in our case, the Saints when they beat us. It was difficult. But I'm fortunate, they've been there and won 2, so that was a lot of fun.
What do you hope that coaches that look to you as a mentor take away?
Football is a tough game, and it's run by tough people. But it doesn't always have to be abrasive. It doesn't always have to be a situation where you're trying to tear somebody down and make them fight and scratch their way back up. Certainly you add pressure and things of that nature, but I'd like to be able to say, hey, we worked extremely hard, but you know what, we had fun doing it, and we won a lot of games.